It's Sean, the ordinary guy. Well, it's Sunday afternoon. It's pretty damn cold outside. We're not particularly enjoying the weather and we feel like something stodgy to line the stomach. I would actually make the family and myself a lemon dessert. It's one of our favorites. We call it lemon top sponge, and basically what it is that you put all the ingredients together, and I'll show you how to do that, and whilst it's in the oven it separates and it becomes basically a layer of sponge on top of a really tangy lemon kind of custard sauce. One of our favorites. We absolutely love it, and it's great for those days or those nights when it's cold outside and you need something that is going to line the stomach, meet the needs of that sweet tooth, and really have some comfort food. So I hope you enjoy it with us. I guess you'd like to know what ingredients you need to make the pudding. Have a look what we have here. So what you need for this lemon top sponge, delicious, is 100 grams of butter, 100 grams of flour, normal white flour, 200 grams of white sugar. We have the zest of 2 lemons. We have the juice of 2 lemons. We have 4 eggs that are separated. I've already done that. So into whites and into yolks. Please make sure that you don't get any yolk in your white, because otherwise it won't whisk. Then we have 450 mils of milk, plain milk. You can use fat-free, it doesn't really matter. I mean, there's a lot of sugar and butter in here, so probably full fat is great. We have a bowl for mixing our white of the eggs, and we have our mixing bowl, and then we have a nice dish which we will butter up and what we put the mix in. Obviously an ordinary mixer is fine. Okay, let's start. So we're going to start with the egg whites. Always better to do that first before you use your whisk, and then have to clean these. If this gets water on, these don't particularly fluff up properly into stiff peaks, and that's really what we want. So let's start with the egg whites. This was the whites of 4 eggs at room temperature. So the whites are done. Nice stiff peaks, as you can see. I won't put it over my head. Then we're going to start creaming the butter and the sugar together. As I said, 100 grams of butter and 200 grams of sugar that go into the bowl. Okay, so we've ended up with a really nice creamed mixture. And we're going to start adding in the flour and the eggs and the lemon juice. Okay. So the next part is to start adding in the flour and the eggs a little bit at a time, so that the mixture gets well incorporated. Egg. That is looking good. Nice and yellow. reminiscent of the lemon we will add to it. That's looking good. A bit more flour, probably about 1/3 at a time. And then another yolk. Last of the flour. And the last egg. So we've put the butter and the sugar, creamed it, we put in the eggs and the flour. Now we're going to add in the lemon juice and the zest. A little bit at a time again. And don't worry if it looks curdled, that's normal. It won't bake like that in the oven. It'll still make it really, really good. That's looking nice. Bit more of the lemon juice. Also the smell is starting to fill this area really nicely as well. Lemon's lovely. I love lemon pudding. So that's the last of the lemon juice that's in there. Slow this down a bit. Now we're going to add in the zest. The zest is really important for this dessert. This is where the oils in the skin really release into the mixture, and whilst it's cooking it becomes really fragrant. It's really delicious. Okay, now the next thing we're going to put in is the milk. Put it on a low beater and you will see this will curdle more, but as I said, don't worry about that. It really becomes a very, very runny mixture. The 450 mils of milk goes in really easily. You don't have to whisk it loads. That's the last of the milk in there. Okay, we're pretty much done with that side of it. That's probably the last time that you need the beater. Just going to make sure that everything else is incorporated in properly. Take the mixture from the sides of the bowl. It is looking really good. So we're going to start to put the stiff white peaks into the mixture. Just take a little bit, not everything, and just fold this in. This makes it easier to fold in the rest later. Try and break up it very gently into the mix. This is what makes the cake effectively. You're not adding any baking powder or rising agent except for the whites of the egg. Now we'll start to add in the rest. Break it up a bit. And then start the process of folding it in. Coming from underneath. So we're done incorporating the stiff white peaks into the rest of the mixture, and it's smelling fantastic. Guys, what do you think? These are my young sons who are helping me to film. Clearly, Sally is not impressed. We're preparing the dish now. and we're putting a layer of butter on the sides of the dish so it doesn't stick. It will stick, listen, but it won't stick quite so badly if you give it a liberal coating of butter. Anyway, it adds to the flavor, so I'm liking it. We're done there. Ready to put the mixture now into the dish. And it's really simple. Just put it all in. I'm really looking forward to tucking into this. We now put the mixture into the oven. I basically preheated the oven at 170 degrees. I couldn't get it out the first time, but 170 degrees Celsius. We are going to bake it for 45 minutes. We'll check it after 45 minutes. If it needs a little bit longer, we can do that. But let's follow what I know. It was a recipe from my mom. And she always made sure that we followed her recipes. So the mixture is going in. Oh yes. Ready to bake for 45 minutes. Good. We'll see you just now. So we've just got 10 minutes to go and it is looking fantastic. We can't wait. So the dessert is finished 45 minutes later. Gonna be pulling. Oh, that looks good. Pulling it out. Okay, now for the moment of truth. You can see that delicious lemony custard sitting underneath. So let's see how it tastes. Delicious. You can obviously have it hot or cold, but I prefer it hot, and then maybe put a little bit of pouring cream over it. It's great for a dinner party. Our friends love it too. I hope you enjoy it. Have a good evening then. Try this.